Welcome, everybody. This is Patrick Durkin from Lovonya.com, and I am here today with Charles Matthew. Charles, welcome.
Hi, Patrick.
And I'm just delighted that Charles is here and that we get to be here with all of you. And we're in a series of free calls right now, so this recording is going to end up published on the internet and available for people to watch for a long time. And the idea is to build in a series right now. And this series of calls is building to the end of April in 2023, when Charles is going to be doing a final class in the free series on pain to joy. And the idea is that most people in today's world are living with some type of pain at some point. And if they were able to work with their body and work with crystals to transform that, that would just be a tremendous service. So that's what we want to do is teach that to a group of people for free because it's fun and it makes a difference. And afterwards, we will be offering a paid class, but just come along for the free ride and learn how to transmute pain to joy in your body. Like, what could be better? And then we'll see where else we go from there. So today's class is focused on, there's an inner core healing force that's inside every one of us. And we haven't been taught how to access it. Well, Charles is going to walk us through step by step how to access it and to work with our own bodies to activate this healing force. So with that said, I'm going to turn this over to you, Charles, and stand by in a supporting role. And let's see how we roll.
Thank you, Patrick. To get things started, I'd like to bring up the energy of the group. So notice where you are now with regard to how you're feeling, what you're seeing internally, what you may be smelling, what you may be tasting. And I'm going to do a short chant starting now. Laka ika leo, laka ika loa a, laka ika vai me ka mahalo ihi. And just for a quick survey, how many of you notice a shift in the energy where you are, where you're sitting, where you're laying? Okay. This is some feedback to me and to each of us about this thing called energy or energetics. And what is it? How can we use it to help ourselves have a better quality of life? Well, I've discovered some secrets in what you're going to learn two big secrets today, and we're actually going to do them. One is about the inner core, and one is to get rid of immediate stress type things and pain, working with your vagus nerve. So a little background, very little. I'm going to talk you through a hand position where you're going to send energy between both your hands as they're placed on your body. We're going to work with three positions in your body, what's called the Hara Center, or it's a point between your first and second chakra, over the left chest and over the right chest and the left chest. And we'll be moving the hands around, and I'll talk you through that. And along when I'm doing that, I want to build the energy. And what we're going to be doing is sending energy to one hand to the other hand, sort of like going through the center of the palm to the center of the palm of the other hand. And however you want to do it, you can send it out of both, or you can pull from both or one or the other. But we're going to get a little crazy because I'm going to make some sounds, because making some sounds or doing a little bit of heavy breathing increases the energy. And rather than talk about it a lot, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Will that be okay? All right, we're ready. Let's go. So I'm going to stand up and talk about where I'm putting my hands, and I'm going to make some sounds, and the sounds are going to be real goofy and funny because I want this to be silly. And let's see. So what you're doing is you're sending energy between your hands, and I'm going to stand up and show this on my body. Now, I have a long shirt on, so you can't see my belly, or you just be laughing the whole time, okay? But what I'm going to do is put my right hand over what I call the Hara point, and it's on the groin between the first chakra and second chakra. Using your right hand, just put energy into there, into this inner core that runs from the tailbone to the pineal, tailbone, pineal to the tailbone. And this is a constant source of energy that's within you. And you can move your hands up or down in front of this. In fact, if you start from below and pull energy up with both hands, you may notice a little bit different feeling. And if you do, just enjoy that, because we're going to build this feeling so you can really do something yourself with the energy. So now what I'm going to do is put my right hand on the hara point. Then it's where between the ovaries. Okay. Also, it's and that's a source of infinite possibilities of new cells. All right. So you put your hand there, and the other hand, which would be the left hand, on the right breast. Now, what you want to do is put the nipple in the center of the palm, because this is where energy flows the strongest, and you're going to be sending energy into both breasts. And so use the palm of your hand and send the energy into there. Okay. So I've got the first, this will be position 1, hara point, right breast and in the nipple in the center of your palm, and send energy between both the hands. And you'll know that the energy is flowing between both hands when there's a slight beat that goes like a beat. It goes boom, 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 and it's lower than it's just a constant beat, and it's lower in frequencies than or lower in speed than your heartbeat. So that's what we're wanting to accomplish, and this will be position 1, and here we go. Just send energy between both points. Notice what you notice, and I'm making the sound to just build the energy a little bit and let you know that it's okay to be a little bit goofy about this, and if you did it a little bit differently, that's okay. We're going to do 6 positions, and this is position 1. Okay, hara point in right breast. Now we move to position 2. Left hand over left breast, right hand over right breast, and send energy between both the hands. And notice when the beat is there with you. Ula bala ba ke lo loro tarase huli la la ra turu tera kara bara bara puri ti ti turu ta send the energy between the hands. Da 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 di 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 da 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 do 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 da 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 do. And you do this on your own somewhere between a minute and say 7 or 8 minutes. It's whenever the beat's there. And I know we're doing things kind of funny now, but we're doing this to loosen up and get the energy flowing. Just like when I did a little bit of a chant right at the beginning, the energy flew a little bit, just grew a little bit stronger wherever you were. And by making these funny sounds and by us being connected here on Zoom, this is what surprised me about being in Zoom, because what we're doing is we're actually increasing the energies of our surroundings, which is phenomenal. Okay, so now we go to position 3. Position 3, right hand goes to the left breast, left hand goes down here, down there, they say, and to the groin area, the hara point, and just send it between there. And now I'm just going to make some more sounds, okay? And breathing. Woo. So what we're wanting to do is, however we do it, send energy between the hands, pushing, pulling, pushing, pushing, pulling, pulling, making a sound, breathing deeper. And this is position 3. Position 4 is just change the positions of the hands. The right hand goes down to the hara point, the groin area. Left hand goes on to left breast. and send it.
Charles, I have a couple things to talk to you about when you're done with the step.
Say it again, please.
I have a couple things to talk to you about when you're done with this step.
Okay, I'm done with this step. Go ahead.
Cool. So first off, I just want everybody to know from a couple months of experience with doing these chants with Charles, sometimes they're not audible. And that's just the video sound just can't keep up with the frequency, and it doesn't matter.
That's right.
If we're hearing it or not hearing it, it's perfect. And if you want to know whether it's good or not, just look at Jen, because she's the one that looks like she's going to pee her pants every time he does it. So that's a good read about whether it's going right or not. And I think that's part of the healing, is like learning how to look like you're going to pee your pants while this is going on. Charles, the lower hand is kind of between the belly button and the pubic bone. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Correct.
And
it can be plus or minus 4 finger lengths. Okay, 4 finger widths. Just
okay.
somewhere down below in the middle. Okay.
Okay,
meaning the center line.
Great. And then just to give people like a little bit more permission, like if you ever watch Charles count down from, say 5 to 1, you'll hear things like 5, 62, 3, 4, 2, 1. Like you learn to like not be too literal during all this stuff. So if you're wondering, like, am I visualizing the energy between my hands right? Or is this going right? Yeah. Like if you're here and you're present and something's happening, it's going right. So don't worry about what you're hearing, what you're visualizing. Just be here and trust.
Perfect. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. Left hand on the right breast. Right hand, you're crossing the hands. Send energy into here. This is position 5. God, this is great the way we had this. Had these comments by Patrick. And just send the energy between both the hands. And we have one other position to go, and then we'll talk. So sending between there. Do 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 do. Send the energy and notice when there's an evenness of a beat. That means that there's a connection. It's the best way I found that there's a connection. You kinesthetically feel an even beat between both hands. So now the last position, take the left hand, put it down to the hara point, the groin area. Right hand, put it over the right breast. And just send energy between both hands. Send energy between both hands, just slowly, comfortably. Or fast and noisily. And just notice how things are. And I'm going to go ahead and just move my hands to my side and sit down and now talk to you. And let me ask, how many of you have noticed a difference in how your energy is flowing? Okay, that's the whole purpose of this. And how many of you noticed of the 6 positions, say at least 4 of them where you felt an even beat? Okay. The idea is to have at least 3 or 4 even beats, and you're real good to go to this next step that I'll show you. And by the way, there was one thing I forgot to ask you, especially all the ladies, is that notice what's going on with your body and how things were, say, 10 minutes ago when we first started this goofiness, because this position is what I teach to all my lady clients, and they just have such great success with dealing with the female issues of the body. What this will do is it will get align the female energies. It'll stop the pain. It'll stop the puffiness. It'll stop the. It's just beautiful, and it works with because what you're doing is you're taking universal energy from your ovary area you're saying you're working with your inner core saying, hey, we want all this work that's going to be done, all the transformational work to be uniform, so all of our body works. But what you're doing is first we opened up the area of all those extra necessary necessary parts of the body, functions of the body that men don't have, and it's very complicated. And this just cleans them up real well. So, how many of the ladies may have noticed a change in any sensations and with female issues that they had today? Okay, it's very, very, very good. And if you get any fancy, serious names of or disease names that affect the female area, this helps get rid of that. Seriously, this is one of the steps that that I work with clients that have that issue, and very, very good results. So,
Charles,
yes,
we have two things in the chat I want to bring to your attention. One is, how do I send the energy with my hands? And then the second is, I had a pain in my heart with position 5.
So with position 5, whoever that person was, just put your hand over your heart and tell me how that pain has changed.
It's gone, but it only happened when we were doing it.
Okay, and that's good, because what it did is it activated. I'm going to use the word transformation of your body, so we can keep these legal. Transformation of your body for your highest and best good. And it was just a short one. It was showing you what was there, and you're actually going to get this started, and it's going to just come out naturally by putting your thoughts on that spot, by putting a hand there and putting energy in and pulling energy out. And I'll get more into the details of this, but that's how it works, and that's how simple it is.
Thank you.
And where I discovered this, where it was even more active, is I first played with the inner core in the mid '80s, and then when I was in Europe, I noticed something real different. I started playing with some of my power stones, what I now call rare earth minerals, and I noticed that when I put them on the body, that what would happen is that there'd be a different experience with their energy and how it changed. And so I got to experimenting, and what I realized, because I was directed by my counsel at the time to teach what I was doing, is that I'm a very strong presence healer, and just my energy goes out whenever I'm in a healing mode and affects people, and they just feel better. So I said, whoa, this is pretty cool. But what am I doing? Where am I sending the points to? Anyway, I figured out where I was sending the points to. And I did some more experimenting with these power stones at the time, now called rare earth minerals. And if you put these rare earth minerals where essentially the discomfort or pain is, what will happen is it will pull from your inner core an infinite source of energy to help you change your body to how you desire it to be. Now, there's ways to see that there are words that are naughty for me to say. But what you're doing is you're taking care of yourself, and that's the whole purpose of this.
Charles, I'll jump in there with the disclaimer, right? So nothing that we're doing is intended to treat, cure, or prevent a disease. If you have a medical issue, go see your doctor. And these are just our opinions about, wacky ideas and experiences that we've noticed make a difference for us. But there's no healing, and there's no medicine being intended or implied here. We're just sharing our experiences. And that's the disclaimer for the world we live in these days. And Charles, I'll remind you that the person asked about sending the energy between their hands, and I know you may choose to address that or not address it, but I wanted to remind you that was there.
Ask me the question again, whoever on the screen, or in words, if you could.
The words are, how do I send the energy with my hands?
With your thought. just having the thought of sending the energy to you through your hands or through the point in your hands. You can either send it out, or you can pull it into you, or you can address it to a part of your body. Like if you've ever heard of your leg and you put your hand over it, and like there's the old one that is very, very common. It's very basic. If there's a cut, first thing I'll do is I'll put my hand over it, even with someone that just cut themselves, and I'll say, stop pain, stop blood. Okay, stop pain, stop blood, and it stops. So it's a combination of what your intent is, pushing energy through the hand, having a vision of the person being different, having a feeling of yourself being different. There are many ways to do it, and it's about practice and about discovering what's best for you at the time. But trust yourself intuitively. Is there anyone that wants to try this with me? I'll tell you what to say, or if there are, go ahead and hold your hand up or wave your hand. I'll check the other screen. And okay, please, Ellen, what's going on? Go ahead and unmic yourself. Elaine, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Eileen, you see the message there to unmute?
There we are. We're good.
Great.
Please, Eileen.
I went through that with you and all.
Yes.
But I don't know that I'm going to remember it when I'm by myself.
Go ahead and play it back. Just find a spot on the playback and go ahead and play it back. Okay. But I'll show you. All right.
Oh, it'll be taped?
Yes. Just
I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Watch it on the replay. And I'll do more talking about where this is, and I'll also put out a sheet like where the positions are, and just do your best to remember. It can be a little complex at first, but the bottom line, what you want to do are between the 3 points, send energy to all of them in all the possible ways, and that turns out to be 6 positions. So like if we're saying that and you can do it in any order. I just did it in an order that seemed that I could remember, because I moved my left hand, I moved my right hand in a clockwise motion from looking at me, and then I moved my right hand. Anyway, I get confused whenever I look at the screen.
So you guys, yeah, let me say something here. So, Charles has not been practicing like this with technology. He's been in person with people for decades. And so we're going through this process where, as he's teaching you, I'm watching and listening and figuring out what systems need to be put in place. Lovonya is not a community where we preach at you, you listen, and then you go away and you don't remember how to do it. That's not what we're doing. So like when Nico comes on and he teaches emotional intelligence and you learn the magic frame, and then I check in with you and you don't know how to use it, we're going to go back and we're going to build instructions so that we actually have people using the magic frame. When we have Charles helping us activate the energy of our inner core, the idea is that we all do this together. So when we have gatherings, we're going to gather as a community and we're going to do these practices. It's not theoretical. It's not like maybe this works, and it's not preaching. It's for you to do it so that you feel great in your body. So whatever it takes to go from here, where we're a little confused and learning it for the first time, to its memory in all of us, and we're doing it, that's what we're after. And we're going to keep going after that as a community until we get there. So that's what I'm up to over here while I'm watching. So just keep engaging with him and keep playing with him. Charles, keep teaching, and we'll build instruction sheets. We'll build instruction videos. We'll build the short, little, succinct thing that you need to read. We're going to do all that.
Sure will. Thank you very much, Eileen. Thank you. All right. Anybody else with a question along that line? All right, well, let's just do it again. and I'll walk you through it. And this time I'll do it without the crazy noises because I feel that the energy within all that I can sense is quite strong. Okay. And so let's just take advantage of that strong energy and notice how we could do that quite and no, I'll do it and then I'll ask you what's the difference between now and about 7 or 8 minutes from now. I'm going to do this for roughly about a minute each position, but I want to keep things. I just want to keep things going. Okay, I could truly spend 6 minutes on each position, but that'd be 36 minutes, and all the time would go by. So I'm doing this short just so I can show you how to do it again, and it's very much okay if you do it totally backwards from how I did it, and we'll do it. Just keep in mind that you want to do the center of the palm in any positions, okay? And especially in the chest, the nipple goes in the center of the palm, all right? Doesn't matter as much down in the ovary area. So,
Charles, I got a question for you. So, we're unscripted and we're communicating something that really matters, and we're really loose, and that's part of your style. But yet some of it really matters. So, I'm hearing you say that the nipple right there in the hand is an energy connection that's important.
yes.
Is there any other point to distinguish for people, like this is the essence of it? Because I know part of the essence of it is the playfulness and being a little bit unscripted. So anything else you want to say about that?
It's going to be so individual that I could probably talk for 24 hours about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because is there a way of doing it wrong? Yes. And what's that way? Not doing it at all. With all the energy work, it's like, what works? Okay, do you feel better? What you're looking for is your end result, and the end result is usually in some way to feel better. And you may very easily discover a new way to do something, and I want to know about it, all right? Because that's how I learned everything that I do, is I test it out on me, and then I'd go, wait, this didn't work. So, and I'd right away ask a question right at first the next time. How come this didn't work? And I change it. This is about testing, learning, doing, playing, having fun.
I'm going to bring a really key distinction in there. I learned this in 2000 when I had irritable bowel syndrome. I basically had diarrhea for a year. It was an awful time in my life. I was in pain all the time. And I went to this healer. I went to this guy who taught a guinea pig class. That's what he called it. The sense of humor, right? Like if you come to study with him, you must be a guinea pig. And when you walk through the door, he offers you cognac and M&Ms. Like he's always joking around. Like he says, that's what does the healing. And he had a very simple thing that he taught, and it really matters. And what it was better is better. That's it. Better is better. So when Charles is teaching right now, and he's saying, like, what's the only thing you can do wrong? Not do it. And if you feel better, like since this started, I've got a lot more energy flow in my body. And I bet a lot of you do too. A lot of people raise their hand that they're experiencing a change. That's better. And if you simply feel better, it's time that we learn to let that count. I feel better. That's enough. What do we want? Like, I feel better. Then you come back tomorrow. I feel better again. I feel better again. And we just stack those up. So that's part of what Charles is leading us to, is just feel better.
Very well said, Patrick. Very well said. Very well said. Okay, so let's do it again. I'm not going to be as goofy. And I'm just going to walk you through the positions. So if your eyes are open, okay. If not, I'll sort of describe when I'm moving my hands. And if I say touch the knee, just know that I'm testing you. All right. And so I'm going to stand up in case some of you want to see me here. Notice that no laughing at my belly, okay? And so I'm starting out position 1. I'm putting my right hand over the hara point. That's midway between the first and second chakra, also roughly where the ovaries are. Putting the hand there. My left hand is on my right breast. and I'm letting this be here for about a minute, minute and a half, and just send energy between both the hands through your body, both your hands through your body. Send the energy from the palm of the left hand into the palm of the right hand, palm of the right hand into the palm of the left hand. And just breathe slowly and gently. Notice, what you may taste, what you may smell, what you may hear, what you may see. Beautiful, thank you. Now we're going to change to position 2. Position 2 moves your left hand to your left breast, right hand to the right breast, and send energy into your chest, into your breast, okay? And enter into your through both the hands, left to right, right to left, left to right, left, 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 right, 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 and just send energy in there. And notice that there's beat. You'll feel a beat after a while, and the beat will be slower than your heartbeat, and it goes beat, 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 beat. Okay, and you know you're ready, and you can move on. So let's move on. Move your left hand down into the groin area position, that's the ovaries. Move the left hand to the left breast, and send energy through both hands to each other. That means you're sending from the right to the left and the left to the right. The right is left and the right is left. No left, right, and just feel it when it's flowing between there evenly, if it goes to there. But what you're doing is you're sending energy in to your inner core to activate the inner core. And the idea is to get the inner core activated so that from your inner core, spontaneously to wherever your body needs it, Creator will send Creator's light from the Creator in you to wherever in your body is appropriate next for whatever you want to work on. It's totally automatic. I mean, how can brains keep track of what all different things to do? We have to turn it over to Creator. And this is position 3. Position 4 is change the positions of the hands. The right hand goes down into the groin area, okay? Left hand goes on the left breast. And just send energy between both the hands.
Charles, let me jump in here with you for a sec. So guys, sometimes Charles says left when he means right and right when he means left.
God.
So do your best just to follow where the hand is, like.
See, I get goofy when I go into energy.
Yeah, it's all good. So just, do your best to follow where his hands are. And when he says groin, he means the spot between your belly button and the pubic bone. There isn't a new point being illuminated here. We have a couple of points, and we're just moving our hands between each one. So don't worry if he says the wrong words. Just look where his hands are and follow along, and you can't get it wrong. All right, Charles.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. And now I'm going to move my left hand over to my right breast and move my right hand to my left breast so the hands are crossed. This is position 5. And just send energy in. You're wanting to send this energy in to like your body, going through the inner core to connect with the other hand, and the other hand into the body through the inner core, connecting to the other hand. So just send the energy in through the hands and let it flow. Let it flow. Let go and let Creator be to work with you and to deeply transform you for the highest and best good of all concerned. And wow, the energy is very, very strong here at my house right now. And that's energy that's coming from all of us. This is beautiful, working on Zoom like this. So now I'm going to go to the 6th position. The 6th position, move your left hand down to your ovary area, the right hand on the right breast. And this is the 6th position. And send energy to each hand going through your inner core. So more appropriately from the left hand into the inner core, let it go to the right hand, from the right hand down into the body, into the inner core, and to the left hand. And then just turn this over to Creator. Thank you. And we're complete, so I'm going to put my hands by my side, sit down, and ask, how is everyone? And does anyone notice a difference between 10 minutes ago and now? And if you would, go ahead and hold up your hand and be called on and just talk a little bit about what the difference is. Please.
So one person, anybody's welcome to raise their hand.
Anybody.
Yeah, Amy, we'll get you in 1 second. One person said in the chat they feel the pulse is stronger this time, and Charles,
Yes.
another person said that they were feeling really tired while we were doing it.
Yes.
Do you have any comment on feeling tired?
That's what your body's requiring. And so it's your body's, okay, you're tired. Keep that in mind. It may be appropriate for you to rest right now, or it may be appropriate for you just to notice it's important to get some rest and do that after we're done here, or whenever it's appropriate for you. Because this is really about you, my showing you the secret so you can work on you. And you're going to have your own way of working on you. And we have 51 people on here now, and if you start squaring that and all, there are probably 10,000 different combinations, because we're all different, and that's how the energy works.
Awesome. Thanks, Charles. Again, just keeping up with the chat, and then I've got Amy unmuted. One person said, I feel I can breathe better and my mind is clearer and more relaxed, but my friend here feels as if she's blocked. And another person asked if there's a time when both hands are on the hara. No. Okay.
And you can create another time and make that work for you. You don't have to follow this has to be done this way. You can have your own new position, both hands on the hara.
Beautiful. Yeah, I guess the point would be if we're accessing an inner core inside of us, like it doesn't have to be the same for 51 people. It can be different for every one of us.
Yes, yes. The idea is to activate the inner core so that energy can help you, so your energy can help you.
Great.
This is such a simple secret that it's almost a wow.
Yep, falls under better is better where I come from. So let's see what Amy's got to share.
I just want to start with thanking you. I came into this feeling heavy, and with your initial chant, well, usually if I get energy through a Zoom, it's just a subtle kind of a wash. And then you did your chant, and it was unlike anything I've ever felt. It felt like it was trying to spiral around my body, but there were blockages, and it wasn't quite going through. And it was just extremely powerful. And then going through the positions, definitely felt it. I didn't feel the beats right away, and I didn't realize that they were uneven or even. And then there was one time when you were saying the beats, and my beats were right when every time you said beat, I was feeling it at the same time. And I just feel so much lighter and so much more open. And I need to remember to bring my Moki marbles or my obsidian or something, because my energy feels like it's just buzzing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, thanks for sharing, Amy. Shira, did you unmute already? Good for you. Okay. We can't hear you though. I'll try it again. Not yet. While Shira is getting her sound, Reed wrote, I get a huge surge of energy and can breathe easier and feel a bit better, which is great because she's home in bed with the flu and a viral infection.
All right, super.
Reed.
Super.
Not yet, Shira.
And Reed, what you can do is put your hands on your body now that your inner core is activated, and put your hands on your body in different places and feel the energy going in. That creator is now directing some of your energy from your inner core. It's an infinite source, all right? And your creator within you it would direct you to have a to get through the flu, because the flu is there so we can get some healing, so we can get some changes done with our body. You can say flu is bad, but flu is also a great way to get rid of some toxic stuff. And yeah. Okay. Sure. Are you there? Still can't hear you.
But Charles, I want to keep like pulling at the edges of this feeling that I think we're having. Like it's coming up as a community. Like we have this class going on with you. We have the Cosmic Tower stuff going on. We have different teachers coming in on Thursdays, and it's like I just feel mellowed out. I feel quieted. I feel peaceful. I feel calm. And I've learned over time that that's the state of wellness for this guy. And I don't think that, like, as a community, we've fully got that yet. Like, I think it's emerging in today's conversation. So I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit more, or whether that just kind of says it all. But
well, it says it all, but I'd like to hear some people from their own point of view say that they can be different and that they're feeling well being different. Okay. And that they're open to new ways of feeling well. Just anyone that would like to do that.
Mm-hmm. All right, sure. You keep trying with your sounding. You can blurt in the middle of the conversation if you get it right, and we'll pull Deanna into the to the conversation now.
Thank you, Charles, Patrick. I felt extremely tired the first time, and at the second time, I felt nauseated, and I feel the energy still, like there is a high vibration in my body, but the nausea is like overwhelming. So I understand that I should be resting for a while. And I was wondering if there was anything else I could do.
I'll just talk you through a couple things, okay? And we'll see what happens. So where do you notice that you would put your hands to feel better?
My heart.
Okay. So with your hands over your heart, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a small little piece, and I'm going to work with you remotely the same way that in within a few weeks you'll be working with these rare earth minerals, and I'm going to send these to you in a if there's an address, there'll be 6 of them, and they'll be real tiny. But what you can do is put these on your body where you feel that you would like energy, okay? Like you said, on your heart.
Charles, let me jump in with you. We're going to do a lot of things at once here. So for somebody just wrote in the chat, they're feeling a little dizzy too. There's a concept that Charles has taught me called borrowing benefits. So anybody that feels any discomfort right now, nausea for Deanna, somebody's feeling dizzy, anybody, let's borrow the benefits together. Let's have the whole community get this right now. And what Charles is talking about that he's playing with in his hands is the actual crystals that are going to be sent out for free to Lovonya members, and they're going to be available for sale to people who aren't Lovonya members. But these are going to be the crystal slivers that we are all going to learn to work with. They're very small and they're very powerful. So this is an experience in using them. And we wish you had them already today for this class, but because this is such new material going online over Zoom, we had to figure some things out first. So I've done sessions with Charles remotely with these crystals and had very powerful results. So everybody here who's feeling any discomfort, as he talks to Deanna, just put your discomfort into the conversation as though he's talking to you. We'll do them all together at the same time. Okay, so Charles, which one of the crystals are you bringing forth?
I'm bringing the program quartz crystal. It's this big.
So when he says it's this big, he's holding up a piece of medical tape and the
Mhm.
program quartz is taped to it. There's a concept we'll be teaching over and over again called less is more. These things are super powerful. So that's why it's on the tape, so we don't lose it. And that's what he's showing you.
Okay, and so just directly with Diana or anyone else involved, is I'm going to put this on my heart because may I connect with you, Diana?
Yes, yes, Charles.
Okay, good. So how does your heart area feel right now? All I did is I put that on my shirt.
Relieved.
And take another breath, and how do you feel?
I feel the energy now on my right, like on the right side of my throat, here next to like a pulsation, but it's
Beautiful.
like it's very strong.
Beautiful. Isn't this nice and cool?
On my right area, no, it's like
Oh, I was just making some comments as to. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
sure. No, I mean I feel relief in my heart, but now it moved to here, so
Okay.
it's like a dagger in
Yes, yes. What it's doing is it's working on your body. You're a great great person to work on your own body. So let me and for the whole group, let me do a short chant. And whenever someone has issues, I usually solve things with a chant because what the chant does is it slows down the releasing. So this is for everybody, okay?
Charles, how would you instruct the person who put in the chat about the dizziness to be participating simultaneously? Because you put it on your heart and you connected specifically with Deanna. How does that person know they're connected too?
By listening to the chant. And I would have to, I could work personally with them, and I can work personally with them by thinking of who they are. And but this is going to get real complicated. So let me do a chant first, and then the person that has the dizziness, let me work with them individually.
Okay.
Because I can only see like 25 people, and and I want to be cautious of sending out too much energy because too much energy will build up too much things releasing.
Okay. So guys, this is a new ground. We're learning as we go right here. Charles is going to focus with Deanna right now, and then you can just keep your questions coming. I'm trying to ask the questions on behalf of the group, but just save your questions, put them in the chat. We're going to get this conversation as a community. So
You got it.
All right.
So
Charles.
here's that chant. May come mahalo nui nui. So the person that had the how are you Diana?
I feel less pressure here, and
Okay.
it went to the left side of my body now, like diagonal to the heart area, but in the back.
Okay. Because when you're working on a body and there's pain is there for there to be a change. And usually the pain is in a very opposite, the bipolar opposite of where the energy work is real important to be done to change, to really make some transformations. It's important to use the pain as a measurement criteria. Are there any changes going on? And also know that really to totally get that out of the body, you may have to do many other things. Because when you're talking, like for example, if you're talking about tissue that's malformed, the only way that can really grow back to perfect blueprint is by having the proper energy, okay, the proper nutrients in the cell, any toxins out of the body, and then proper rest. Rest is when the body rebuilds itself. I'm talking about, say, an organ or a part of the body, a muscle that's sprained that has to rebuild. It's got to have all four of those steps going on at the same time. So it gets real complex. And that's how come you're jumping around. And what's happening is your highest power, who your highest power is handling where it's best to move the attention and make the changes with your body. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, that's what's going on, and that's how come it's going from place to place, and you're real sensitive of it. This is a real time um, experience that's going on, and I want to be careful about the energies being too strong now, because I'm going to do a short chant to just make it where everybody else can slow things down a little bit. Allah, Allah. May come hollow, nui nui. Okay. So, how's everybody else now? Anyone else that would like a little bit of? Oh, you tell me, Patrick. Call on someone, please.
Well, Patricia's got her hand up, so that's a great place to go. It looks like Shira might have given up on her mic. Shira, you're welcome
Oh
to
my.
message me directly or keep working on your mic. Let's try Patricia now.
Hi, Patricia. How may I help?
Charles. Hey, Charles. Thank you very much for doing this. When we first started and we were going through all the positions and everything, I went through all of them with you. And then when we went into the second set, I went out like a light. After the very first thing you did, I fell asleep when I was gone. And then I came back right as you were doing the very last of all of them. And when I came back, I had a sore throat. And now, after you did what you were just doing, and it was intense, my throat was really, really sore. What you were just doing, it feels better. I still have a sore throat, but not as bad as it was. It's much improved.
Super. This is how the energy works. And so may I connect with you?
Yes.
And now I just put this little itty bitty, okay, on my throat. Did you notice a difference?
All of a sudden it got stronger.
Good. And just like breathe comfortably and call in your highest power to help you from working with energy from your inner core. And tell me when it changes now.
I can feel something now going across from my, like this.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, this is you working on you. I mean, how many of you thought that anything like this was even possible? And yet it's happening right now, you working on you. Now there's more steps to do this and more discoveries, and these are the secrets behind the secrets. And Patricia, how are you now?
My hips are tingling. All kinds of little things are happening. I can feel something in my lower back. The energy is moving.
Yes, and this is you moving that energy. This is you working on you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Charles, how are things going to be different for people when they have the crystals in their own hands and they've had some instruction in this for a bit?
They'll be able to do this themselves, and they'll have the permission from me to do this on themselves. And what I ask that they do is to follow the instructions and just love yourself more. Follow your inner direction. Be experimental.
I love it. I've spent a lot of time between 30 and 50 years old not feeling well, and I'm 53 now, and I feel the best I've felt since my late 20s, and consistently have high energy. And I believe that there's an inner healing force inside of me, and I believe that I can work with it. And so to have the opportunity to share this with all of you, and like experiment together as a community, and to take that belief out and see what you say about it is it's a really great privilege. So I'm thankful that this class is going on, and you guys, we're programmed to give our authority away and to forget our power and to think that somebody's got something for us that's going to make our life better. But Lovonya is all about loving you as you love yourself, and remembering that the only way that we're going to live the life of our dreams is by knowing who we are and how to work with ourselves. So this is what that feels like. This is that actualized. So if it's like, feeling dramatic to you and you're tired and you want to, go lay down and take a nap, great. If it's feeling like really subtle and you're like, I'm not sure I understand what's going on, that's great too. Just stick with the conversation. Kira says she got good zapped when the crystal appeared. These crystals are really powerful, guys. They're really, really powerful. Charles has such an extraordinary collection. Like, I've named it the Matthew collection, and I love Asheville, North Carolina. I love it here, and I'm leaving. I'm leaving next week, and I'm leaving because I'm driving to Charles's, and I'm moving in. So those crystals have magnetized me to give up the spot on earth I want to be living in and to go live with him and them, so that I don't know what I'm going to figure out. But like 2023 is the year of Patrick Durkin figuring out a lot more about crystals than he ever knew before. So I'm going to be translating that and making it available to all of you. Okay, I think I'm keeping up with the chat pretty well. And I don't know if somebody else wants a spot here to raise your hand, ask a question. I've got one thing I haven't read yet that was a direct message. So if somebody has something to talk to Charles about while I have time to read that, it'd be helpful for me. Crystals and chanting have made me want to sleep. Yeah, thanks, Susie. Yeah, you guys, that sleeping energy is like, it's the best. When I was profoundly adrenal depleted, like transitioning from being a stockbroker to being in the water industry, I practically every day for 2 to 3 years took a nap in the afternoon, and the universe was hilarious. Like, if I would take a nap while I was sleeping, the Wellness Enterprise would sell a whole house device. If I didn't take a nap, no whole house device. So I learned, like, it's a benevolent universe and we're supported. And if I'll just rest, then my dreams will be fulfilled. But if I won't rest, if I like drive at it, then I'll just be adrenal fatigued. So I woke up from so many naps, and I'd look at my phone and I'd be like, oh, look, here's the best order of the day happening while I'm sleeping. So take a nap, relax, let this force take your life to where you want it. What area of the country does Charles lives in? He's in Texas. All right, who else has a question? Patricia, I'm putting your hand down because I think you're already done, but if you want to raise your hand again.
I just put a thumbs up to go in to take a nap.
Ah!
I said right on you. That's what I'm going to go do.
Perfect.
Super. I applaud that. This is us working on us. Yeah.
Okay, let me just read this thing that I'm trying to get to in my private chat, and Charles, you just help me with it. So
Yeah.
This is somebody who has somebody at their home watching the Zoom with them. And this person said, when my friend wasn't touching her body, she felt the energy flow through her and felt it helped. But when she had the positions where she physically put her hands on her groin and breast, she felt that there was a negative block. Nothing was working. Maybe it would work in those areas, but not touching. Would that help the energy flow?
Can the person talk to me?
No, his mic's not working. So,
okay. So, I don't know how to answer that. I'd have to feel it a little bit more.
He wrote another comment to me. When Charles put the crystal on his chest, my friend felt a positive energy, and she felt something move in her body.
And so how was she about putting her hands in those various positions now on her body?
If you could keep typing for me, I'm happy to keep writing for you. So Charles wants to know how your friend is doing now with putting her hands on her body. Let's go over to Jennifer while that chat gets updated.
Yes. Yes, Jennifer.
Oops. Again, just as we were talking, I keep occasionally having that pain in my chest, which is, I don't know. Is it just, I guess I got a question.
What it is when that pain keeps on coming out, it's getting your attention. And we have one of the prime directives of our unconscious mind is to release the stuck energy. Pain is stuck energy at the earliest possible time. And because that's a major prime directive, one of the 19. And so you'll continue to do it, and that's how come when I do the chant and the pain stops, what it does is it slows it down. So that's my thought, whatever with the learnings that I've had. So may I do a chant for you and everyone else that is having these increases of pain, and let it slow down. And what it'll do is, rather than taking like 10 seconds to get out of your body or loosen up, because pain being stuck energy, is it'll take maybe 3 or 4 minutes, but you won't notice it. So it just slows it down. Okay, here we go. May come hollow. And how are you now, Jennifer?
Good, but it wasn't like hurting before. It just kind of was hurting, coming and going earlier. So as far as I know, I'm going to go with I'm still good.
Okay, cool. Good question. And that's how come I do the chant and to slow it down. We're talking and we're doing things right now today that are people would call woo woo. I mean, like woo woo. And yeah. Patrick, I see Reed's hands up.
Awesome. So I just resolved that thing going on in the chat. They're going to come to a future session with their mic on, so you can feel and interact with them more. And we'll get into it next time. And let's jump over to Reed. Go ahead, Reed.
Hi, thank you. So I started to get a bad headache after we did the positions, and in spite of everything, it doesn't seem to be going away, although I think it lessened just a little bit from the last chant.
Okay, good. So I'm just going to do a chant on you individually, okay?
Wonderful, thank you.
Do do da 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 do do do. Oh. La da. Me Kamala Nunu. Okay, Reed, please take a breath and tell me how you're doing.
It moved down about 1 inch on my forehead, but it's still there.
Okay.
So now it's a little bit above my eyebrows.
Okay.
Like
And
a band kind of squeezing.
Like a band kind of squeezing. Okay. Is it okay if I connect with you?
Yes, please.
All right. And how are you now?
The left side is better. The right side still hurts a little bit, but I think it's lessening.
And by chance, I ask you like a personal question. You don't have to answer it. But does this kind of pain come often?
Some. I think it's related to sinus or muscles in the back of my head.
I want to show another technique if we have time, Patrick. And it's working with the vagus nerve that I think would be real helpful for you, Reed. Is it okay if we do that, Patrick?
Yeah, we're unscripted, so
Okay.
let's just be of service.
All right.
Great, thank
So
you.
I'm going to show you. You heard me mention at first. There were two things I wanted to show you, and this is the other one. And what I'll do is just show it to you, and then ask you to do it on yourself. All right?
Okay.
Okay. And this is for the whole group. Do it on yourself. What this does is this takes the tension away, takes stress away within the vagus nerve, both dorsal and ventral. We're talking about CNS 10, central nervous system 10. And what you do is you interlock. And by the way, to do this, I ask that you lay down or that you be in a recliner where your neck is braced. However, to show you this, I'm not going to be doing either of that. Either of those things. But let me show it to you, okay? Because I think this will help you. So I interlace the fingers, just interlace them like that, right? And I'm going to put them in the back of my hand. I'm going to show you how I do it. Let me get where the back of my head's there. And all I do is I'm having my fingers interlaced back here in the occipital axis area. And I turn to the front and looking at my eyes with my hands back. Now, keep in mind, I'm laying down. I'm laying down on with my head braced, and this will get you a lot deeper. But notice how the tension is back there and in your neck with the kind of tendons going up and down. Kind of feel how loose or how tight that is. Now look all the way to the right, all the way to the right. Just with your peripheral vision. Turn your eyes all the way to the right, your head straight ahead, eyes all the way to the right, and breathe and notice what happens. Eyes all the way to the right, and just keep on doing that. Now, eyes to the center, and now move your eyes all the way to the left, all the way to the left, and just breathe all the way to the left. Keep your head centered, eyes all the way to the left. And now move the eyes to the center. Okay, undo the hands. And Reed, did you follow that?
I did. And
how are you?
It feels much better, actually. Thank you so much.
Okay, and this is the other technique I wanted to show y'all. This can be done 1 time a day or 10 times a day. It's very helpful for stress, very helpful for nervousness. There's pain, especially if it's coming up from anywhere in the head area. And Reed, if I could ask you that if you touch the ligaments or muscles that are going up in the back of the neck, like on the left and right side, do they feel any different from before?
There may be slightly, I didn't touch them in the same way, but
Okay.
They're probably slightly less tight. They're slightly more relaxed.
Okay. That's what that is that's the vagus nerve loosening up. And it so happens that's a real powerful area that affects a lot of the body. In fact, believe it or not, it'll affect how you walk.
Wow.
So practice with that is one of these techniques that you can work with on your own. And I want to share these with people. That's what I'm to do on the planet now. And these are very, very valuable, or let's say a lot of get results and for people working on themselves.
Wow. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful.
You're welcome, Reed. Now, questions about anybody else that have the questions or have a comment with the technique that I just showed, that I
One
just went through.
One question in the chat is, do the eyes need to be open when they move side to side?
No, and it's better to for them to be open. They don't have to be, and it's better. It's that they be turned all the way, and you can do it wearing contacts, but it's better if you're not wearing the contacts. Okay, because they might pop out.
Yeah, and then Patricia asked, eyes to the right, yes, then to the center, yes, then to the right, no, then to the left. Right, so you start right, you go center. You
Well,
go,
you can do it either side. You can do it either side first, but just do both sides, and usually kind of like the even amount of time on both sides. It doesn't matter. It can be 10 minutes that you're turned to one side. It can be 10 seconds, whatever's appropriate for you. This is one of those techniques that, once again, it's you get to choose because it's you taking care of you.
John writes, my friend did it and got a pain in her lower right leg. Why would this be?
Is the pain gone?
He's the one without a mic. No, the pain's still there.
It's hard to work with you if I don't have any contact. And working like this through Patrick, I'm going to have to say that for me to work with you, I've got to have you got to be able to sense you, and I can't sense you.
Okay, so that's a limitation we're learning.
Or let me ask, what's the name on the screen? Is there a picture?
Well, it's John Daly with his friend there. So it's a little more complicated than most. Reed just suggested maybe you can call in on the phone. I think this is actually a limitation for us as a community. Like if Charles can't see you and he can't talk to you, he's discovering he can't sense you, and then it's harder for him. So let's
Okay, I see John Daly. Let me tune into that energy. Okay, I'm just going to do some things a little bit different, okay, because I do things differently from time to time. So y'all just protect yourself a little bit on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And okay, John, type it out. Did anything change?
Charles, when you gave the instruction while we're waiting for John to type, when you gave the instruction, protect yourself, who were you directing that to?
Everybody else.
Uh-huh.
And everybody that heard the words.
Uh-huh.
Because what I sensed was going on is there was a real strong energy leaving the friend who was talking through John. It's doesn't have a picture.
Her name is Carolyn with a K.
Okay. So how's Carolyn now? This is kind of into things that I don't normally do, because when I work with people, I work with what I call integrity, and I've got to be careful about doing things too strongly and doing things appropriately. And
Okay.
Yeah.
So John says that she still has the pain in the leg, but slightly better. So guys, I'm going to put an end to this type of conversation. We're not going to do like through another person and without Charles being able to see or speak. It's just, it's not, the energy doesn't feel right for how we
Well, what I'd have to do is block everybody else out and go to there, and I want to work with as many people as I can.
Okay. John, why don't you message me a phone number and we'll check in with you after the call and make sure everybody's okay. But just message it to me privately and we'll check in with you. We don't want to leave anybody hanging, but this isn't what we're doing next.
No, we're stretching the limits of what we can do soon, what I'm willing to do with it.
Perfect. And Sandra Lee just said, learning what works and what doesn't. So, and John says, thank you for trying, much appreciated. So thank you, thanks for being a great community, guys. Like, this is what we're looking for. It's like, where are the edges? And,
yes, where are the edges? Yes.
And we're learning. So good stuff. All right. What else? Anybody have a question or comment? Charles, do you have any more questions for the community?
To answer their questions they have of me right now. Because what I wanted to do was teach the 2 techniques, work with what the limitations of Zoom are. And so I think we're at the time. And by chance, did Shura get, was she able to call? Was she able to talk? Sure, when you do that, that may have an effect on your vision. Because if you'll pay attention to your eyes, when you're moving them from side to side. And if you feel back in there in the back of your neck, you'll notice that when your eyeballs are moving, that you can feel that in the back of your neck. So you're having direct connection with the occipital area. And that's a way of getting energy in to eyes for eyesight. And go ahead.
Yeah, it seems like that area is connected to more senses. Like I know working on my vagus nerve has been supportive of increased taste and smell, and so I'm actually looking forward to working on that vagus connection myself. Marcia, please unmute yourself. Shira still doesn't have sound.
Okay.
Okay, a couple of questions.
Just a
first
couple?
one- yes, just a couple. The first was that we did with those positions, that was moving the energy, correct? Is that what we were basically just doing, is moving our energy around and connecting energy throughout our bodies to what purpose?
It's an experience of you moving your energy so you can use your energy with the guidance of your highest power to be of service to you, feeling better.
Is there a special position where if I had a pain someplace else that I could put one hand in one place and then pull the energy towards it out? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Well,
or releasing the pain?
If you know how to do it, it'd be okay. But a lot of times people working on themselves, it's kind of difficult. I know I have difficulty working on myself, but so the answer would be maybe. Do you want to test something?
No, right now I feel pretty good. Right now I feel pretty
okay.
But-
Okay.
Oh, the vagus nerve, that's what I was going to ask you. Would that help the ears
Yes.
when we're okay?
If you in a better way to answer that question is if do you think it would help the ears?
Yes,
And if you think it will help the ears, it'll help the ears.
of course. Of course. Thank you.
Okay. Sounds a little tricky, and it is, and it all a lot of work, us working on ourselves or us working with other people. It's like being real clear on what the outcome is, and the outcome is towards something desirable, something that the person is going for, that's going to be helpful to them, joyful to them, that type of thing.
Somebody, Amy actually wrote, if you're working with someone else, can you have them move their eyes, or is this only for working on ourselves? So I think the idea is these technologies are really simple, and the point is to all of us embody them and spread them. Like, that's what
You
we're
can
up to.
teach it to someone else, and they've got to work on themselves. Okay. Is it more specific? Are you caring for someone elderly that, or that kind of thing? You can ask me that.
Yeah, we can see if there's
No, I've been a massage therapist, and I was just wondering, as far as if someone's on the table working with them, to, in addition to the massage, to have it as a way of them releasing their own stress. But it sounds like they would be the one doing it.
Well, in a way, yeah. There's a simple answer and a complicated answer, and both of them are the answers are yes. But one of the things that this course or this work is for is more for giving you ways to take care of you. And so this is a great way of you with the vagus nerve, of when you're done with a client, of you taking care of you. A little technique to use that's super, super valuable. And what especially would be great on March 1st for you is to know how to disconnect with your client. And that's the Ho'oponopono that goes on March 1st. Because so many people that are into massage, they do all they can for the client, and the client is worked on, feels real good. You go home, they go home, and you're still working on your client and being drained.
Mm.
Okay. In this March 1st I'll show you how to cut the cords.
Okay.
Okay. And does that answer your question in a way?
It does. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah. But as you know, you're facilitating the client being better as opposed to giving your life energy for the client to be better.
Right. So encouraging them to use their own energy and not mine.
Okay, that statement could be taken a few different ways. Encouraging you to be energetically and also monetarily being equal exchange. And are you just taking the pain away, or are you really taking the cause of the pain away? Because so many people, they go in to see doctors or massage therapists, and they have a pain and it's the same pain, and they get rid of it at the same time. What they have to, the pain is there for the body to make changes. And unless the person makes the changes and gets to the root, kind of called the root cause, they're going to have the same problem. And usually what will happen is it will start getting worse and worse and worse and affect more of the body. Because the pain comes in, any kind of pain or discomfort comes in, if you will, through creator, okay, into the conscious mind, the unconscious mind, which is the energetic mind, and then it gets physical. And so the easiest way to let all that go is to get in and work with the energy or energetics, which is what the massage does, and also by asking some appropriate questions, or by the person making some changes, you can let go of that whole issue, going in through the energy, clearing up the physical, but you still got to take care of the mental part and the spiritual part.
Right.
And kind of an overview of that is working with the root cause. And you've got to cover all four of those things in a single session, and balanced and as best as it can be to do things.
So Charles, we're getting a question now about talking about root cause, and I want to bring in.
Yeah, that's a whole different area.
Yeah, I want to bring in that the next class is about clarifying our higher guidance, and so connecting.
The one after that, because we've got one on the 1st of March where we're doing Ho'oponopono, Patrick.
I gotcha. So in the sequence that we're running every fourth Thursday.
Yeah, it's
the next one is clarifying higher guidance. In between, we've inserted a bonus thing, which is we're realizing the need to layer Ho'oponopono in with all these things so that you guys can be decisively cutting energies that are not supporting you. So we've got it all mapped out. And I think for today, the goal was to have you feel this inner core. And I think we got a good sense that a lot of people did that, and that I think we realized some of our boundaries. And I think we also, see the need to get the crystals in your hands. So I think we're at the place where we wrap up. I think we've done what we needed to do today, and the sequence is it's unfolding itself perfectly. So come on back for Ho'oponopono on the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Come on back at the end of March on the 4th Thursday for the clarifying higher guidance, and then come at the 4th Thursday in April, and we'll do the pain to joy. Like that's the whole thing. And we're probably going to put in more than one Ho'oponopono class. And if we need another Q&A or anything else to support all this learning, we'll put it all in. And special announcement for next Thursday at 3:00. Zane, wave your hand for a second. That is Zane Marcin. He is our new practitioner who teaches Qigong. And to work with Zane and to work with energy is a true privilege. He has embodied childlike wonder and just being a joyous man. And so he's going to be sharing that with us. So show up next Thursday at 3:00, and Zane's going to be teaching us then. And Charles, thank you so much for everything you brought today. All of you, thank you for your engagement. I mean, I hope you're feeling each other. We're certainly feeling you. And we just really appreciate that you're here and that we have the chance to grow as a community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jen, I'm still really bad at unmuting everybody. So everybody can unmute themselves. I guess I keep getting reminded of that. And say goodbye. So there it is.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye.
thank you, Charles.
Everyone.
Everybody,
Bye.
thank you,
Charles.
Charles.
Thank you,
Thank
Patrick.
Great day, everyone.
Patrick.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
everybody.
Okay.